Today we're going to make what I call a classic shepherd's pie. But it's only classic because it's my shepherd's pie. And the ingredients, you're going to say, oh my gosh, there's nothing gourmet about that. And you're absolutely right. It's just really good tasting food, and that's what it's all about. First of all, we're going to start with a pound of ground beef, because I'm only making this for 2 people. We're going to use beef gravy in a jar. And no, I'm not promoting any of these particular brands or products. These are brands I happen to use, but you choose the ones you want. I'm using mixed vegetables. You can use any vegetable you want. Shredded sharp cheddar cheese. The secret ingredient, believe it or not, stovetop cornbread stuffing mix. And of course, some mashed potatoes. When I was growing up, my mother made the worst mashed potatoes in the world. And my stepfather used to pick on us and tell us horror stories about being in the service and how they stretched mashed potatoes with dishwater. And I'm like, oh God. So to this day, I can't eat real mashed potatoes. I prefer the instant because it reminds me of the good old days of the old Swanson's TV dinner, the ones that came with the aluminum foil. God, I'm old. But if you know what I'm talking about, you understand. Used to love those mashed potatoes. Let's start. We've already got the pan preheated and we're ready to just throw in the meat. You see how nicely that chops up the meat, separates it. You can break up all the big pieces that remain, and we want to give this a good brown. Also, we're going to be draining any of the fat because we don't want that. We'll add our spices after we drain the fat. That way we're not pouring them down the drain. And I'm not really pouring the fat down the drain. I've got an old coffee can that I use because I don't want to clog up my kitchen sink. Now that we have the meat sufficiently drained, let's go ahead and saute the onions in with the meat. And feel free to stir them in real well so that way they get heat. You want them to become just almost translucent. We have a ½ teaspoon to a teaspoon of thyme. Now we're going to do the garlic. Same thing, about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Mix that in real good. Kind of the same way you would when you're making tacos from a taco kit. You know, you put in the spices and you start stirring it up. And here we have regular black pepper. At this point, you can put in a splash or two of Worcestershire sauce. Yes, I use the good stuff. There you go. Just enough for it to kick up a little flavor. I'm going to put in a little bit of the gravy. And last but not least, we do our mixed vegetables. We're going to set that to cook once we stir it up here. We're going to cover it up and leave it alone for a little bit. So there we go. We've got everything mixed in. This is going to make a nice base to the bottom of the pan we're going to bake it in. Today we're using a 9x9 baking pan because there's only 2 of us that are going to be eating. So that'll be plenty. If you're making family, then you would double the meat. Go ahead to 1.5 pounds or maybe 2 pounds and use a regular, what I call lasagna pan, or a 9x13, and it'll all work out. We're going to remove that from the stove and make our first layer. Ooh, good. Looks pretty good so far, huh? This is my secret ingredient, and this is going to add unbelievable flavor. And if people don't watch you making this, you're going to go, ooh, yours is so different. What do you do? And you can either be nice and tell them, or you can say, Ancient Chinese secret. Calgon, huh? We're out of Calgon. You remember that commercial? Boy, that was years ago. Oh my God, was that years ago? They were so cool, though. They don't make good commercials like that anymore. Whatever happened to those guys? You know, I remember Clara Keller. Boy, I loved her. Where's the beef? She was a trip. Okay, we're just trying to make sure that we get this spread out evenly, so that way, when somebody takes a bite, you get a taste of everything in every bite. Mm-hmm. Plus, I'm OCD about that kind of stuff. I want to make sure that it's all nice and even. There we go. How's that look? Does that look okay? I'm not getting any reaction from my producer here. I was hoping she would give me a thumbs up. Okay, I got the thumbs up. We can keep going. I think that thumbs up wasn't that it was good or it looked good. I think that thumbs up was shut up and get on with this. I do have a tendency to talk a lot. Well, sometimes anyway. All right, here we go. Spread the potatoes evenly. Get this out of the way for right now. Now, we're going to stick this in the oven at 375, and we're going to set a timer for about 25 minutes to 30 minutes. We're going to check it at that point. This is already cooked, but for the best flavor, you want the gravy to be bubbling on the side. That's a sign that it's like, ooh, just delicious. And some of you may or may not want your potatoes browned on the top. I like that. It makes a really good presentation. It doesn't happen all the time, but it depends on your oven. Right now, my oven where I'm living is kind of fussy, and I'm not sure it really gets up to the temperature. I'm not sure if when you set 375 you're really there, or if it's lower. One of these days I'm going to have to test it. I'll test it and let you know. Meantime, we want a really, really good cover of the potatoes. So, it's like rolling out dough at this point. You just keep rolling, rolling, rolling. These spatulas really help, though. Now, remember, everything you see in my videos is a product that I use, I have come to use, and I like. So am I endorsing them? I guess you could say I am, because I certainly won't use anything in any of the videos that's going to make me look dumber than I already do myself. And there are affiliate links. If you want to purchase any of these things, I mean, everything you're looking at, from the spatula here to the pan to the cookie sheets, came from Amazon. And those affiliate links are a great way to support this channel. And I want to say thank you for doing that. Okay, I think that top looks good. Let's add a ton of cheese. Even though these potatoes already have cheese, we're going to add some more. Ready? Look at that. Oh yeah. Ooh, yeah. More cheese, more cheese, more cheese. I feel like a rat. That's going to melt real nice. Let's add this simple touch to make it look like we have a beautiful dish. This is just, good. The oven is already up to temperature. Isn't that wonderful? This is parsley that we dried ourselves, by the way. I bought too much fresh parsley from the grocery store. So we said, hey, what the heck? Let's stick it in the oven at 200 degrees. And we did. And it's a really, also a nice, only a nice look, but a nice taste. It gives just a little kind of a different flavor than the regular dried parsley. Let's stick this in the oven. Ready? Get the cheese off. And since we use everything Amazon, let's ask Alexa for a little bit of help. Alexa, set timer 25 minutes.
Second timer, 25 minutes, starting now.
You'll have to forgive us, but we got so excited that we forgot to turn the camera back on because it's finally dinner time and we've made several videos in one day and it's already past 9 o'clock and we are hungry. But look at the way this came out. Look at that. It's nice. It's bubbly. You got your vegetables all nice. The cheese is perfectly melted and it plates real well. Now, you'll forgive us, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to take off and we're going to enjoy dinner. But thanks for joining us and we'll see you in the next video.